This video is brought to you by my awesome sponsors. Make sure to check out the affiliate links in the description below. Thanks again for all the support.
So you just purchased Need for Speed Unbound, and you find yourself in a multiplayer lobby. After a couple of rounds of trying to invite people, you finally get a lobby together, and by the time you finally start the race, you're only there with yourself and 2 other people. The racing's fine, nothing to write home about, but the amount of time that you spent trying to get a lobby together makes you feel like you've wasted so much time. There's 16 people online, but they all seem to be in their own parties, or they all seem to just be accepting different races. They don't seem to be accepting your races for whatever reason. So, this video is about how I feel Need for Speed Unbound is missing something crucial from the multiplayer environment that Need for Speed Heat actually had, and that's AI in the multiplayer lobbies. So what made Heat really interesting is that you would have, multiplayer people, just have other people show up to your lobbies, which was great. But for the individuals that didn't show up, there would be AI that would fill out the rest of the grid, which was really nice because you could, if nobody would accept your invite, you could still race solo. And you would still have, AI that would race against you and still count towards multiplayer rewards, and you would still be able to get bank and rep and all the rest of it, but you wouldn't technically need, other people there. So what I find interesting is that Heat, with a 32-person lobby, had AI in case if people didn't show up. So what does Unbound do? They half the lobby size and they half the server size. And we're sitting here going, okay, so it's just instinctively going to be harder to get more people, or rather the same amount of people accepting races, but then they cut the AI, so it makes it virtually impossible to do, have a full 8-person grid. You need to have 2 full lobbies of 4 people, and coordinate it so you all accept the same race at the same time. Otherwise, you just can't do a race. So let's just say, for instance, that you, after months and months and months of trying to persuade your significant other to pick up a racing game for the first time, and you feel like that this new Need for Speed game, Need for Speed Unbound, it's got a lot of really cool art styles and it's got a really unique gameplay, and you figure that it'd be right up their alley. So you finally go to Target, you finally get the game on sale, and when you play it, it's just the 2 of you in the online environment. No other online players seem to be accepting your guys' invites, and it's just you and your significant other. But not only is it just the 2 of you, every time you make a race, it's just the 2 of you. Nobody else seems to. Maybe you'll have a 3rd person, but then after the first race in the playlist, they seem to drop. What kind of game does that really give off to the person you're trying to persuade to play more of it? It's going to kill their interest so fast by not even having other players to race against. So honestly, I feel that having AI would be a really nice balance for a couple of reasons. So in Heat, you would be able to adjust the difficulty of the AI depending on the player who starts the race. That was a good call. So if you are in a more challenging environment or want, some more challenging AI, you can just boot it up to challenging AI and you're good to go. But if you're with your significant other who hasn't ever really played, racing games before, you can boot it down to more of a relaxed difficulty, and the AI will fill out the grid and be challenging for them, but at least makes it interesting instead of, just racing against 2 or, 1 or 2 other people. So I honestly feel like this, I am so baffled and so confused about these things that have been standard in previous Need for Speed games, going back to for as long as I can remember, honestly, where it's just, if you don't have people to fill out your lobby, AI are just there to fill it out for you. So I'm trying to figure out why there are so many different weird decisions that have been made in Unbound, where, you know, the lobbies are tiny, the servers are equally as tiny, but then to remove AI, it's like Criterion are purposely trying to trying to isolate themselves and make it more of a hardcore Need for Speed fan game versus trying to reach out and get more sales and try to get more people included. Because if there were good lobbies, like huge lobbies and huge servers, this wouldn't be a problem. Because if you have 32 to 64 people, there might be, you know, there could be 4 or 5 or 6 people that would want to play your race. But trying to get that amount of people open in the same environment with only 16 people on a server, it's just not going to happen. And the really other interesting thing why I struggle with this so much is the creation of challenges. The fact that certain cars are locked behind, you need to play certain classes or certain tiered races, you know, a number of them, to be able to unlock them, and to be able to unlock them with playing them as certain cars. So for example, if you need a Volkswagen GTI, they're probably going to say play a B tier race or play a set of B tier races as other Volkswagens, like a Beetle or, you know, I don't know, a Jetta. I can't remember what other cars are in this game for Volkswagens. But that being said, so you get into the lobby and you're finally like getting it all right, where you got your car set up, you got everything good to go, and you know, none of your friends are online at the time, so then you just sit there and you wait for somebody to accept your invite. Nothing happens, so you do it again. Nothing happens, so you do it again. And I actually experienced this myself when I was recording the Ferrari 488 Pista B-Class video. Nobody wants to do lower class races, period. Like, at the very beginning, for like the first week or two of this game being, you know, released, people want to do that because they would also have other B-Class cars that they'd want to unlock. But now, it's everybody wants to do S+, because that's the way to get the fastest money, and that's what the fastest cars. So people who have grinded already don't want to waste their time with B-Class or tiered races. So what would have helped that? AI. So again, if you can't find other people to be able to race your B-Class races, then you would just hit solo, or you would just hit race anyway, and the AI would fill it out. You'd still be able to complete your challenges. You'd be able to get your cars. You'd be able to get the Volkswagen Golf GTI and be able to upgrade it to your S+, which is ironically what a lot of people do. Sorry for sounding like a just giant bitch fest these past couple of videos, but the point that I'm coming across is I am overtly critical of these decisions made by Criterion, because I feel like if they were changed, they would have an amazing game. It's in my opinion, it's very well polished, and I'm glad that they polished the game before release, because having a really buggy game on release is worse than a game that is well polished that just doesn't have the features yet, or at least that's what I thought. But now that we have a game that is featureless, it's very concerning, because then you're asking them to add all these features after launch, and they could just say no. They could just not do it. So you're sitting there yelling at them for months until EA, after 6 months, says, no more support. We're done. I hope to God that EA for once doesn't do that, because I see this game going down the same path again. So for the love of God, add stuff. I know it's January, but like, tell us that you're going to add AI, that you're going to add cops, or don't add cops. I'll get into that in the next video. I just hope this game is good and becomes better. Because in its current... Screw off. Because in its current stage, it's just... It's a grindy game that you need reason to keep playing. Because if it's so grindy and nobody comes to accept your race requests, then why the hell are you even here? So they either need to increase lobby size or probably do something a lot easier, which is just add AI to multiplayer races, because then it actually makes it feel like a living, breathing environment, that there's like loads and loads of people who are always racing all the time, even if they're AI, but it doesn't look like they're actual people. I don't know. So, you know, give me your thoughts. You know, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, or subscribe. Again, let me know if you guys are actually just getting larger lobbies together. Just let me know if you guys in general have more friends to accept these things, or if you're in agreement with me where it's because of the lack of AI in races that you can't complete your challenges. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But of course, thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.